In a hastily arranged news conference this morning, the president tried to claim victory, saying NATO allies have agreed to his demand for a big increase in military spending.
They've raised an additional $33 billion that's been put up by the various countries, not including the United States.
But moments later, French President Macron denied Mr. Trump's claim and reaffirmed all allies are still committed to paying 2% over the next decade, targets that were previously agreed upon. Amid the confusion and chaos, Mr. Trump reaffirming his commitment.
I believe in NATO. NATO now is really a fine-tuned machine. People are paying money that they never paid before.
Tough talk that may also be aimed at showing strength ahead of his one-on-one with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The president is under pressure to press Putin on election meddling, something Mr. Trump says he'll do.
All I can do is say, did you, and don't do it again, but he may deny.
But the president may have only added to concerns by seeming to leave the door open to recognizing Russia's 2014 annexation of Crimea, a move Western allies say violates international law.
They just opened a big bridge that was started years ago. They built, I think, a submarine port, substantially added billions of dollars.
And when asked if he can get along with Putin?
Oh, he's a competitor. He's been very nice to me the times I've met him. I've been nice to him. He's a competitor.
That prompting this sharp rebuke.
He is not a competitor. He is our adversary. He is our enemy.
All setting the table for what could be a fiery face-to-face. Kristen Welker, NBC News, London.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.